What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid fade on my brother, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and making sure everything's nice and laid down and neat. Now that we're done laying down the hair, we could move on to our no guard all the way closed and create our first guideline. Don't be afraid to use your opposite hand to move the ear out of the way, and it will give you more space to blend. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we can move on to our 3 guard all the way open and begin to debulk the sides. As you can see, we're using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper, and we're also flicking out with our comb. Now that we're done debulking the sides, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up the line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 1 guard and its lever, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow my Instagram. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. This is going to help us blend into the bulk and also blend into our lower guards. Remember, we're using the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. You want to detail as much as possible once you're done finishing your steps, especially using your corners. Now we're going to begin to debulk the ridge with our 3 guard all the way open, using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper. The 3 guard all the way open is helping us build a silhouette, and now it's going to help us blend into this clipper oval comb method. I always make sure the hair is a tad bit saturated so that it's easier to pick up with the comb. When I use my horizontal cuts, it's mainly for debulking, and when I use my vertical cuts, it's mainly for blending. Here I'm using thinning shears to soften up the parietal ridge. When you're using thinning shears, you want to make sure you pick up the hair with your comb and then thin them out with your shears, keeping them as flat as possible. Now we're using our Goat FX to line up his C-cups and make it as crispy as possible. I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top. I always find it easier to line up C-cups that way. You also want to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then it's going to shift and you won't line them up properly. I'm detailing the fade as much as possible with my no guard all the way open and my half guard. Moving on to the back, we're starting off with our no guard all the way open, creating our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around an inch thick so you can spread the blend, especially when you're near the occipital bone because the hair is pretty much a lot denser in the back. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that guideline. Now that the guideline is soft enough, we're moving on to our half guard and we're going to use our lever to erase the line completely. We are right on top of the occipital bone, so we're going to make sure we spend more time here. Moving on to our 2 guard all the way open, we're creating our 4th guideline and we're going to get it ready for the 1.5 guard. This guard is going to also help us create our silhouette. As you guys can see, now that the line is soft enough with our 2 guard, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Using our 3 guard all the way open and our comb to feed the hair into the clipper, we're going to go ahead and debulk the calic area. Again, we're going to slightly saturate the hair so it's easier to pick up with our clipper of a comb. As you can see, we're using our vertical cuts to blend and our horizontal cuts to debulk. Now that we're done with the back, I'm moving back to the C-cups with our gold FX and I'm making sure I detail as much as possible. Moving on to the other side of the C-cup, we're going to use our corner of the blade to go as slow as possible and make sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Moving on to our shear work, we're going to saturate the top and create our first guideline in the middle of the capitus. You always want to make sure the hair is nice and laid down in the direction the hair is growing so you can get a nice and even cut. As you can see, we're making our way to the sides and we're following that same guideline we made right across the middle. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, make it keep going, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. As you can see, we're using our thinning shears to thin out the hair as much as possible. Since my little brother's hair is very straight, we're going to give it some texture. Here we're grabbing the hair near the parietal ridge and we're cutting it at an angle, and this is going to thin it out and making sure that the parietal ridge isn't too thick. Never forget those finishing details. I'm going back to my previous guards, making sure I get as many dark spots as possible. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a high fade on my guys, so stay tuned. We're starting off with our guard FX, and we're gonna make our guideline as high as possible above the temple area without going too high. You want as much room as possible to blend, but you don't want to keep it too low where the fade doesn't look fresh enough. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand to give you more space to bald out. As you guys can see, he does have salt and pepper textured hair, so we are going to make sure we detail as much as possible and we don't miss any dark spots. Now that we're done balding him out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Once you're done setting in that guideline, we're going to then attack that bottom line and slightly close the lever all the way closed and then midway as soon as we go up. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for a half guard. Now that we're done using our lever and that the line is soft enough, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. My half guard and my 1.5 guard are the only guards that are gray. The rest of them are black. Right above the 1 guard all the way open, there are 2 light spots, so we're going to make sure we match the dark spots to that light spot as much as possible. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below, or go ahead and follow the Instagram. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and we can use it to debulk the ridge as much as possible. You want to make sure you make everything as even as possible, and since he has salt and pepper hair, we're going to attack the dark spots with our lower guards. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand or move the ear out of your way. Moving on to the back, we're starting off with our no guard all the way open, and we're creating our second guideline. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard and using our lever, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. As you can see, I'm matching the dark spots to the lighter spots with our corners and our lever. Now we're moving on to our clipper over comb method, and we're going to cut the calic down as much as possible and make it into the fade. This is going to help us smoothen up the ridge and blend in the bulk. Using our two guard all the way open, we're going to go ahead and create our fourth guideline, and this is going to help us blend into the ridge and also the hair on top. Now we're using our clipper over comb method to remove the bulk and make it as smooth as possible. Keep in mind that we're picking up the hair with the comb and then cutting it with our cutting blade, either at horizontally, which is to remove bulk, or vertically, which is to blend. Moving on to his hairline, we're going to use our gold effects to make him as crispy as possible. We're also going to start off at the middle and work our way to the sides, and we're going to keep the corners as natural as possible. Make sure to go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then you won't line them up properly and then the hair is going to shift. See, the blend is starting to come together. We're going to add some extra detail near some dark areas with the one guard all the way open and our 1.5 guard. Now that we're done detailing the sides, we can move on to our shear work and create our first guideline through the top. We're then going to match this same guideline throughout the whole top of the capitus. When you're using your shear work, you want to stay as consistent as possible and keep your guidelines as straight as possible. Make sure not to pass your second knuckle with the cutting blade because you will cut yourself. It happened to me multiple times. Now we're going back to our clipper over comb and we're going to make sure the fade is as smooth as possible, especially near the ridge area. Moving on to our Turkish razor and Durber Premium blades, we're going to make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so that the razor can glide better. When you're using the razor, you want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand and also keep the razor at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support and help the channel out, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow my Instagram.